Hello, one and all. Welcome back to the Tom Marshall Media Podcast. Today we are going to look at the film Flight Risk. Let's get into it. All right, Flight Risk is directed by none other than Mel Gibson, who you may know from films such as Braveheart, Apocalypto, Hacksaw Ridge, one of my favourites of his, Passion of the Christ. He's done it all, and as an actor, the original Mad Max and Lethal Weapon films, Sergeant Riggs. Can't go wrong. So we're definitely in good hands when it comes to this film. Also, the cast is pretty excellent as well. The film stars Michelle Dockery, who you may know from Downton Abbey, Mark Wahlberg. I think we all know Mark Wahlberg, and Topher Grace, who is famously in That 70s Show, and also a personal favourite of mine, a film called The Black Klansman, which also stars John David Washington, also Adam Driver as well. Very, very good cast we got in this particular film. Michelle Dockery, Mark Wahlberg, and Topher Grace. So we're in good hands. Very small, intimate cast as well, so it's not too overloaded. And already with that, we're doing well. So the film is about US Air Marshal Madeline on a mission to transport a vital witness, Winston, who has key information about a mafia case against a mob boss that could send him to prison for the rest of his life and ending the mob gang altogether. It starts in a motel in Alaska where Winston, that's Topher Grace's character, is hiding and on the run from both authorities and the mob. Suddenly he is discovered by US Marshals and taken into custody by Madeline, that is Michelle Dockery's character. Several days later, after her bosses finally arrange transport for her to take the witness out of Alaska, they arrive at a small airport where a plane awaits them with no pilot. They get in the plane and Madeline secures her prisoner in the back seat while she takes the front passenger seat. That's when they are finally introduced to Daryl. Now, this is Mark Wahlberg's character. A hillbilly, very outgoing personality with a rather sort of like droll accent. They take off and soon you get to know each character's personality. Winston has very outgoing and comedic personality while also being rather neurotic and nervy at the same time. Whereas Madeline is more of a straight shooter, by the book and at times a little bit uptight. Later on, you find out she has a rather checkered past and is on a mission of redemption and to prove to herself that she still has what it takes to be a field agent. Winston wants to do what's right in the interest of self-preservation, while Daryl has no moral code and just wants to kill for the fun of it. It becomes a film about who has most control. Control of the plane, control of the weapons on board, control of the information that is being passed around. During the flight, Madeline notices a scratch on Daryl's neck and finds it odd and a little bit suspicious and switches on her senses and asks questions about the flight and how long it will take. She fishes for more information as she's finding this very sort of odd, creepy sort of personality and various different attributes of Daryl to be a little bit, like I said, suspicious. While in the back seat, unable to hear anything that's going on because of the noise of the aircraft rattling around, Winston discovers that the pilot isn't who he says he is, noticing that the true pilot's identity fell out of one of the pockets in the front seat. After finding out that Daryl's a hitman and is there to kill Winston, it's a fight for survival in the air and take control. control of the situation and return the witness to testify in court before time runs out. It's a good film. I loved it. And a good film, I mean, you can't ask for any more than that. You know, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It doesn't try to be something that it's not, and it knows exactly what it is. All right, it's a fun ride, a great popcorn flick, and it's just pure entertainment. And sometimes that's all you need. No more, no less, no fuss, no muss. It's good, old-fashioned fun. It doesn't have like a bullshit message or have anything to say, which is a good thing as well, because sometimes when films have that, it tends to generally get lost in that message and loses a lot of that sort of entertainment value. So yeah, it's a bit annoying when that happens, but none of that here. All the performances are great. Topher Grace certainly shares some of the comedic moments, and Michelle Doherty does a great job and doing the heavy lifting of the emotional side of things, especially when she tells the story about her last field mission that went to shit and losing the witness, and how that set her career back several years, wasting away on a desk. Mark Wahlberg does a great job at switching roles from happy-go-lucky hillbilly type to sinister hitman. He also has the worst, best haircut put on screen. Probably going to be mentioned quite a lot in a lot of these reviews, so I'm just going to outright say it. Yeah, worst haircut ever. Unbelievable. But for me, that was the by far funniest moment. The funniest character in the film was actually not shown on screen. Later in the film, Madeline has to fly the plane herself and has no idea how to do so. And the US Marshals enlist the help of pilot Hassan, who is on the phone, on the satellite phone that Madeline has with her, talking her through the process of flying the plane and landing the plane. Hassan is somebody who's very ultra confident, nonchalant, who talks her through, like I say, the whole process, whilst attempting to try and ask her out each time, which serves well as it provides a moment of calm and levity for Madeline, who couldn't be in a more high-stressed environment. One thing they did stop doing after a while was the characters stopped using the headpieces and the microphones to communicate with each other, which I thought was a bit weird, because surely they would need that throughout the whole plane ride. Yeah, so I just thought that was a bit weird, but I'm just being nitpicky. But all in all, this is a well-rounded film that does exactly what it says on the tin. It's only an hour and a half, no more, no less. And a film of this type, if it was more than that, let's say like 2 hours or maybe 2.5 hours, it wouldn't be sustainable. And I think they made the right choice there, sort of really keeping it nice and short, keeping everybody engaged. Which is good. It has a satisfying ending, makes you wonder if Hollywood is finally starting to take a turn and starting to finally produce good quality films, which has been a little bit lacking of late, past couple of years. I think we're starting to see a move drastically from the sort of woke ideology films of, dare I say it, all-inclusiveness, placing characters in the middle of a film just randomly with seemingly to hit that quota, which is really quite frustrating because Nothing in a film is done by accident. You can't just plonk in a character in there for no reason. Each character has to serve a purpose, whether it is serving the story, serving the character arcs, or building those relationships with the other characters as well. So everything has its place in a film. And lately, they're starting to move again more towards that side of things instead of just randomly placing characters for the hell of it. Every actor is here on merit and on working the highest level, doing great work. So yeah, so that's my 2 cents on all that. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments and in chat. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel. This is a very good film, great blockbuster popcorn film that I think you'll thoroughly enjoy. And like I said, only an hour and a half, so winner. Yeah, it's definitely worth your while. So check it out. Let me know what you think, and I shall see you in the next video.